Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where you are coming from. This is your brother, your friend, Humanist Steven, on the show. I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you who have been here waiting patiently for us to begin the show. Uh, Mr. Nice, I greet you. Destiny, I greet you. Mommy Diaspora, I greet you, Ma. Mother of the three boys, one of France. I greet you, every one of you, for coming to the show. So we are just going to just stay a little bit behind and wait for others to just come in as we continue, on the show today. Please, guys, if you are just coming in for the first time, and please just click on your subscribe button. If you're watching from Nigeria, click on your subscribe button. Give us some likes and also give us comment to actually tell us what we need to know. And if you are watching me from Facebook, please just share the Facebook page, give us likes, and also drop your comments so that during the comment, analysis time, we can also read your comment and put up your comment for Doris Odino. Good morning, and put up your comment for others to actually view. Okay. Why I do that is just to make us to be an interactive session between you and us. Okay, guy. Like I said, this very particular segment of Naija Watch YouTube channel is entirely for educative analysis of events happening in Nigeria, Edo State, and the world in general. Like I always said in all my videos, I do not subscribe to saga. I do not believe in saga, and I will never entertain anyone for whatsoever reason to drag me into unnecessary saga. I am a very refined, I repeat the word, I'm a very refined human being with a set goal of what I have to achieve. I know today, after this very particular episode, I'm going to leave this world and transit into another world. I'm going to leave behind a generation that will have to bear the burden of anything that I would have done today. So that's the reason why whatever I do it with all sense of civility and carefulness. So I don't create in any unnecessary brouhaha for my kids or my generation after I would have left, this very particular world. And because of that, and I've also created a very, 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 transparent, crystal-like, lifestyle for myself. So I would not want anyone, for whatsoever reason, to be able to tarnish that very particular, hard-earned reputation that I've built all through the year. That's why I'm telling you guys, wherever you have with your brother, with your friend, it is easy. You can discuss it behind the scene rather than coming onto the social media for us to spread our dirty linen for no just cause. Okay, guys. Now I know many of us do that because of the financial gain that we are going to get. I'm going to say this very clearly. Money doesn't worth it. Doesn't worth the degradation of our hard-earned ancestral, heritage that we got from our forefathers many years ago. Okay, guys. Thank you very much, guys, for believing in me. I appreciate you guys, and I say welcome to the show. So let's kick off with the first show today. It'll be a very, very, very explosive one. Guys, if you're just coming in, please share the video on your wall. And give us a lot of likes and comments. So let the show just kick off, guys. Now, the first show we have today is Governor El-Rufai declare the NLC president Ayuba Waba wanted. Sometimes the Nigeria politicians believe that they owns the country. They are God and they are even the Constitution and they are above the Constitution. They just think that they are emperors. People who can decide what they want to do and nobody questioned what they do. Until people start speaking up. Listen, guys. Until the common man on the street of Nigeria starts speaking up, one day another governor will replicate what Governor Nasari El-Rufai is doing today. I repeat, until the masses begin to speak up, a governor will wake up one day and say, we can't pay workers anymore, and they will retrench, not even retrench, they will sack them. Don't forget, in 2003, the Zamfara State Governor, Sharima, or whatever they call him, began what they call the Sharia law. The masses kept quiet. They said nothing, they did nothing to stop the carnage that it was about to begin to start. They felt it doesn't concern us, it's a not issue. It has nothing to do with the South. We are free from wherever it's trying to create. It's going to be in the not alone and never going to have anything to do with the South. Fine analysis. Fantastically taught. But what is the aftermath today? 2003 to 2021. What is the aftermath of that Sharia law today? It gave birth to extremists in the north who have begun to migrate into the south and creating confusion in the south. So right now, a governor woke up and retrenched 7,000 workers. And the entire nation is keeping quiet over such. We are complaining of insecurity. And what is the mother of insecurity? It is joblessness, idleness, poverty. That is the three factors that necessitate uprising in every society. That is the three factors that breed insecurity in every nation. That is the three factors that creates terrorism in every nation. If you go to the Lake Chad Basin today, I'm going to give an example before I go. If you go to the Lake Chad Basin today, do you know why terrorism is so very, very frequent there? They have never had a stable government for a very long time. It is because of the high rate of poverty in the land. Today, Kaduna State is unsafe. They have been consistent kidnapping, killing, maiming, displacement of settlements from Kaduna. But yet, a governor had the mind to retrench 7,000 workers he employed in 2017, all in a bid to play politics with the livelihood of the citizens of Kaduna State. Today, he had dropped them. And yesterday, there was, a solidarity nationwide Nigerian Labour Congress strike or protest in Kaduna. During the protest, hoodlums took over the venue of the protest, throwing stones at the protesters who are members of the NLC and the workforce in Kaduna State. Even one of the protesters was killed. While they threw a stone, the stone hit him on the side of his head and he fell down and he died. Which under the Constitution of Nigeria and under the Miscellaneous Act, Offense Act, and under the Nigerian Labour Act, and even the NLC Constitution, the NLC and the trade union has the right to embark on a peaceful, on a peaceful protest within the ambit of the law. Some of us who were pro-NSAS movement, in October last year, or in September last year, those who were pro-NSAS movement, we said then that the protesters or the hoodlums or the attackers who came in disrupting a peaceful protest that lasted 2 weeks at Lekki Tollgate were government sponsored. But many people debunked that very particular statement that we made, believing that the youth were actually the one that destroyed their own protest. But what happened today or yesterday in Kaduna has proven a point that the elite in this nation uses poverty, unemployment as a tool to manipulate and subject the youth to their dictates. Yeah. So I'm very sure the youth they sent yesterday, they were giving maybe 5,000 naira to do what they did. And because they were hungry, because they had no home, they had no job, nothing to call for, 5,000 becomes so big. I remember during the election, when I made a call to Benin City, I said, oh, I want you to vote for Governor Obaseki. The man asked me, how much are we going to pay him? And I said, the truth of the matter is Obaseki is not ready to share money. And me too, I'm not ready to share money. He said, then he will vote for the highest bidder. I said, how much? If they give him 5,000 now, he's going to vote for them. Because 5,000 will give him a pot of soup that will last him for 2 days, himself and his wife and his 3 kids. Poverty as a tool to manipulate the people. Now, after that, look at what, then after that particular incident, the governor decided. The governor decided to arrest and declare the president of NLC wanted. I want those of them that have been in the corridor of power before, people like Adam Salih Oshomole, who was one time a very vibrant, a no-nonsense NLC chairman, to speak to his political party right now, so that they know they are going out of the way. One, Governor El-Rufai do not and does not have the right to declare anybody wanted. He is not the law enforcement agency, it's not the police, it's not the court, it's not the judge, it's not the jury. So by law, he does not have the right to even declare anybody wanted. Just hear what he said in his own voice.
Justice. We are looking for him. He should report to the nearest police station or report to us. He will be prosecuted for economic sabotage. There is no grounds for compromise. They have used their last ultimate weapon. It will not change anything. We will not change our position. And that's it.
So this news was from Channels, actually from Channels Television. I want to say a big thank you to Channels for that very particular, short clip that they created out from the long discussion they had with him. He said they have actually used their last resort. It means he is an emperor. He is a dictator, not one that was actually elected by the people. He decides what he wants to do. Nobody tells him what he can do. Okay? Nobody tells him what he can do. So he has the power to do all he wishes he wants to do to the people. And that is quite unfortunate. And I want the people to speak. I want the people to come out and condemn this barbaric, this despotic action, this tyrannic action of Malam Nasser El-Rufai over the workers in Kaduna State. My question is this. These workers have been there even before the coming in of this man. How did the government as at that time manage? How did he manage? Or how did they manage in taking care of these expenses that he talks about today? Do you know what about the Nigerian government that I've seen? They are quick to fire workers, but they have life pensions, which was equivalent to what they were receiving while they were in office. They are quick to fire the common man, but they have a law that gave them that they can build a house in Abuja, in Lagos, and in their own state, anywhere, any place of their choice. They have a law that favors them, that they, their wives, and their children will be under government budget and bills when it comes to health care all their lives. They have a bill that gave right to them to have 5 or 6 cars per year on the expenses of the taxpayers. But they do not think they have the right to give us a deserved life. That is the nation that we find ourselves. That is the country that we were born into, where few take the chunk of the money that belongs to the entire people. Don't forget, yesterday, about 4.1 million pounds, 4.1 million pounds of Ibrahim loot was returned back to Nigeria. 4.1 million pounds. Okay, let me do a quick mathematics, guys. Please, how much is pounds today? How much is pounds? Can somebody tell me today? How much is pounds? Please, those of you watching me, how much is pounds today? How much is pounds? Please, guys. Please, how much is pounds? How many anybody knows here? How much is pounds today? 1 pound to naira. How much is 1 pound to 1 naira? Because I know euro today is about 500 or something. Dollar today has already gone to 511. So pound today will be around that kind, maybe 600. So let's call it 600. So today, yesterday, they got back 2.4 billion, 2.46 billion naira. 2.46 billion naira of Ibori loot returned back to Nigeria. This is what they do to us. They are quick to fire, to sack our people, and they're also quick to steal what is meant for the masses. How many aides does he have in his entourage? How many aides does his what is it called? His commissioners have? How many heads do they have? That shows that they don't care about the masses, they care about themselves. An SSA to the governor is receiving 170,000. A ward councillor is receiving about 140,000. An SA is receiving about 250,000. A commissioner is receiving about 300,000 in a month. How much does a professor receive? How much does a level 16 permanent secretary receives? How much does a level 12 receives? Do they receive up to what these guys are receiving? You see the reason why corruption will remain in the corridor of Nigerian government. Because the few who comes into power takes the chunk of the cake, leaving little or nothing for the over 2.6 million Nigerians to share. And because these people, the nurses in Kaduna, decided to be part of the strike, El-Rufai has ordered that all of them should be sacked. This is the kind of people we have in government today. sadist, emperorist, tyrannist, despotist, dictators, animals in human skin. These are the kind of people that actually pilot the affair of our nations today. El-Rufai ordered sack of nurses below level 14 in Kaduna. The Kaduna State Governor on Tuesday ordered the sack of nurses below level 14 for joining a strike called by the Nigerian Labour Congress. The government has also directed the State Ministry of Health to place advertisement for immediate recruitment of new nurses to replace those dismissed. The NLC commenced an industrial action in the state on Monday over the sack of over 7,000 servants in the state. A move rejected by Governor Nasser El-Rufai administration. But this man, let me show you some things. This man rejected. Let me show you some things, guys. Just 1 minute, please. Just 1 minute, guys. In 2014, 2015, we remember that El-Rufai actually did a lot. El-Rufai actually did a lot during the time of President Goodluck Jonathan. He made so much brouhaha over what happened during that time. Those of you that are actually aware of what happened then can understand what I am talking about today. He made so much tweets. He made so much tweets. He made so much tweets. I'm going to put some of this tweet up for you now. Sorry, guys, just 1 minute, please. I want to be sure that I have it on the screen.
Desperate to.
I want to show that I have this tweet on the screen. So he made so much tweets. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to find that. I can't get it. I will just read the tweet for you guys. He made so much tweets during that period, and all the tweet was in support of the atrocity that was being committed. El-Rufai said, on January 1st, 2012, the NLC and the TUC will jointly issue directives on national strike, street demonstration, and mass protests will commence. No retreat, no surrender. That was during the time when President Goodluck Jonathan actually wanted to increase fuel prices. He says the entire NLC and the TUC will come out and make a statement. Now, in other tweets, he said the NLC also called on the police, armed forces, and other security personnel not to accept any order to shoot Nigeria or hurt them. Nasser El-Rufai was the one that was making this tweet. He also said it is tragic that the Goodluck Jonathan government has become the greatest source of insecurity in the country and the spring of anger on the Nigerian nations. El-Rufai also tweeted, in the same January 1st, 2012, the NLC and the TUC warned Nigerian that this government strives on falsehood and can therefore not be trusted. Then one of his guys, he said something. Said, I learned the petrol will be increased to 141 by April. So will there be another Occupy Nigeria protest and strike? El-Rufai replied, if they try raising the price of petrol again, we will come out to protest with or without NLC and TUC again. NLC and TUC jointly issued directives on national strike, street demonstration, and mass protest will commence, no retreat, no surrender. These were all tweets that was made by the same governor today who is engaged protest in his own state. That is how bad the Nigerian people are. El-Rufai had to fire all the nurses who joined in the strike or in the warning strike of yesterday. Okay? So according to the government, the sack of public servants has become imperative due to dwindling financial resources and higher wages bill, which has become unattainable. The Ministry of Health will dismiss all nurses below level grade 14 for going on an unlawful strike. A statement signed by the spokesperson of the governor, Mayuwa Adekeye, said on Tuesday. Salary that could have gone to them are to be given as extraordinary occupational allowances to the health workers who are at their duty post to fill the gap of those absconding from duty. The Ministry of Health has been directed to advertise vacancies for the immediate recruitment of new nurses to replace those dismissed. The government insists that NLC strike has disrupted key economic activities in the state, which has no connection to the NLC demand, including banks and hospitals. In Tuesday's statement, the state government said, report from Baruhu Diko Teaching Hospital disclosed that some identified nurses disconnected the oxygen supplied to a 2-month-old baby in an incubator on Monday. The statement added that the names of these 3 nurses from the special baby care unit who were involved in this despicable act have been forwarded to the Ministry of Justice to initiate prosecution for attempted murder or murder in the event we lost the baby. Meanwhile, the talks disrupt an NLC rally led by Labour Chief Ayuba Wabba on Tuesday. Speaking with China Television amidst the protest, Mr. Wabba said he informed the Department of State Service after he received earlier information of the plan to disrupt the protest. Today is a very sad moment in the history of democracy in Nigeria, he said. Early in the morning, we got credible information that Malam Nasari El-Rufai has hired one Alhaji Hassan and some thugs to come and attack us. While we were there, they came, but thank God we have chased them away because we have the number. We are not thugs, and we are not using thugs. We are Nigerian workers. If wabba had been declared wanted by the state government, Mr. Wabba be declared wanted by the state government. So this is the kind of thing that we are seeing in Nigeria today. People went on strike and their positions were declared vacant. They were asked to be sacked immediately. Nigeria has become an empire for some people, where they have the liberty, the right to take laws into their own hand without following due processes, and they lay down rules and regulations, be enshrined in the constitution by the Constitution of Nigeria. It is very worrisome and unacceptable that such an act should still be happening in a 21st century to people that we actually thought were learned, exposed. Then, if that is the mentality of a black man, then something definitely must be wrong with the medulla oblongata of an average black man. If all we think, all we see is all we can be able to oppress, impoverish our people, and that gives us joy and happiness, then we are less than humans. That's my take. I don't care what anybody says. If all we think of is how we can be able to destroy our own, then something must be wrong with us. Definitely, guys. Something must be wrong. Look at the way we kill ourselves. Look at the way we impoverish ourselves. For goodness sake, how much will you spend in your lifetime that you have to steal everything within your range? How much can you spend in your entire lifetime? You hear of Bill Gates, you hear of Elon Musk, you hear of this, these great billionaires all over the world. You see what they do in supporting, in reducing the impoverishment of the common man within their society and even outside their society. But that of an average black man is everything an average black man think of is how they can be able to make you to be subordinate to them all their lives. You are sending 7,000 plus into the labor market without no proper provisions on how they are going to survive. With this economic situation that is already, going all over the world today. These people were not sacked as a result of the COVID-19. In Sweden today, many people that were retraced as a result of the effect of this deadly virus are still getting compensation from the state government. In Canada, the same thing. In Germany, the same thing. United States of America, the same thing. In France, the same thing. In Italy, the same thing. And I begin to wonder, why is Nigeria different? We are the 6th largest oil producing country in the world. Yet, we can't be able to take care of our people. Nigerian politicians and Nigerian elites has the largest number of private jets in the world. Nigerians have the richest pastors in the world. Nigeria has the richest musicians in Africa. Nigeria has the richest actors in Africa. But yet, Nigeria is the headquarters of poverty in the world. Nigeria is the most dangerous country to live in the world. Nigeria is the 3rd most ungoverned nation in the world. But yet, Nigeria has the richest man in Africa. Nigeria has the 4th richest man in Africa. Nigeria has the richest woman in Africa. What is wrong with us? What is actually the problem of an African man? Why are we not thinking on how we can save our people rather than destroying them the more? I feel pain. Seeing what is happening among our people. It is heartbreaking. I was home for 4 whole months. I tried to experience what they were going through, guys. That's what you see. That's what you see the youth today. They're all struggling to go into politics. That's the only way they can survive. That's why they are ready to kill. They're ready to destroy. They're ready to, have character assassination just for them to climb and become relevant in the scheme of things. That's the only way they can survive. But we pray that God will continue to help us as a people. Now, I have another news again, a very interesting one. Obaseki, ban on open grazing will allow government to deal with banditry as distinct from cattle herders. And I want to say, this is the best explanation that I've gotten since this issue of ban on open grazing began. And I believe our counterpart in the north should read what Obaseki of Edo State said in this very particular article that I'm about to explain to you guys. If they can read it with an open heart and with an open mind, they will be able to actually understand the intentions of the certain governors. Not to undermine or to disrespect them as a people, but actually to help them in solving the menace that's actually disturbing them today as a region. If the ban on open grazing is being enacted all over the nation, and ranches are being established in the north, not in the south. Because the reason why is this: they have 5 million hectares. 5 million hectares. I think the entire south is not. I'm not even sure it's about the 5 million hectares. They have 5 million hectares of land in the north that was reserved years back. They have 400 reserves that were created many years back for the purpose of ranching in the northern part of Nigeria. If they can bring all these elders into that place and give them the necessary basic amenities that they need to survive, since it's their hobby and their business, they cannot be able to not understand anyone who is outside that location that will be given to them. They will be tagged as terrorists or bandits, as the case may be. That will reduce drastically the problem that we're actually facing today. Number two, the restructuring. 1 minute, guys. Number two, on the restructuring. The restructuring is the only way that this whole issue can also be reduced. After listening to so very many comments up front and back, I came to the conclusion that when this nation is restructured through a referendum, anyways, 85% of the people of Nigeria will disappear. I mean, it may not be instantaneous. I tell you, when this nation is restructured through a referendum, 85% of the problem of Nigeria will disappear. Because the problem of Nigeria today is distrust and parasitic nature of some section, making the section who actually feed the entire nation feel being oppressed. But when everybody is now working within the resources available in their geographical locations, there will be a drastic reduction in stripes, hatred, and unwarranted issues between the subordinations or the subordinates that make up Nigeria. I want to take that and look at what Obaseki said. The Edo State governor has said the decision to ban open grazing in the southern part of the country will allow government to deal with banditry as distinct from the business of herding cattle. Addressing journalists in Benin City, the governor said the ban will prevent clashes between farmers and herders and assist government in checking the activities of bandits. He noted, we have seen that banditry have been associated with herding of cattle, but we also have the challenge that we need our protein sufficiency. Many people invest in the business and get some of the local folk to help in herding the cattle. He said the certain governor decision to ban open grazing is to restrict the movement of herders. Herding, what we said is what at that meeting is that we don't want to see you patrolling. If you want to do herding business, do it within a location. The challenge has been, which I have said from day one, cattle herding is a business like poultry, piggery, or any other business. If you want to herd cattle, create an area, grow the feedstock, the grasses, and restrict the cattle to the area and let the cattle feed there and fatten and taken to be slaughtered. Obaseki added, when you say let people graze in a particular area or ranch in one particular area, people will say no, not on my land. But when these herders come into these communities, people will collect money from them and ask them to go and graze without telling them where they would go and graze. And these herders go into other people's farm. And when the farmers comfort them, they will say they are paid, wondering why the people are confronting them. This was what Governor Obaseki said yesterday. A very clear explanatory to open grazing bound in the south. I have said it thousands of times on my show that cattle rearing is the same thing like poultry, like piggery, like fishery, whatever it is. These guys buy their lands, equip their lands, invest on it, rear their livestock. After being fattened, they sell it to the consumers. They spend a lot in making this workable. So you don't just go buy cows, throw them on the street. They walk into people's farm, destroy their farms, and when the farmer comes into a competition with these guys, they massacre them, they rape their wives, they rape their daughters, they kill them if need be. Sometimes they set the entire farm on fire. All because they want to feed the cattle of their masters. And I also said in some of my videos that most of the cattle you see in the south today are owned by Southerners who employ the services of the Fulani herders to manage their cattle. Thank God the governor has also reaffirmed what I have said before now. That shows that we are on the same page. That we are on the same page with the governor on issues bordering on banding. Let the North know, the South, we are not against you guys. We want a better Nigeria that will accommodate everyone. But we want it in equality, in justice, and in fairness. We want everyone to be equal. We want everyone to be treated as one and same group of people, not individuals. That is what we are standing for. That is what we are fighting for. And we know very much that we as a people, as a Southerners, can change the narrative if we are given the opportunity. The Igbos are the best people when it comes to industrialization. The Yorubas are well educated, well traveled, well exposed. The Benin are ancient civilized people. So you see, the entire component that makes up the South are very formidable set of people who can actually live on their own or live with people, depending on how they are being treated while they are within that geographical location called a nation. So ban on cattle rearing is one thing that every Southerner is glad over. If you go to the street of Benin, the street of Lagos, of Bomosho, the street of Owerri, the street of Onitsha, you're going to see people rejoicing because of that drastic decision that will be taken by their governors in protecting them from this extremist killer X-Men in the South. Okay, guys, please drop your comments, drop your questions, and we're going to deal with it as we are done. The next one today is Nigerian Army strike Boko Haram terrorists during meeting in Borno and killed 40 of them. That's a good one. The attack, which follows intelligence gathering, happened within the Konduga local government area of Borno State, with no fewer than 40 insurgents planning to execute a coordinated storm in Maduguri and its environment killed. The Nigerian troop of operation had the Kahi bombarded a mass gathering of Boko Haram members in Dawori village at the weekend. The attack, which followed intelligence gathering, happened within the Kanduga local government area of Borno State, with no fewer than 40 insurgents planning to execute a coordinated storm in Makodi and its environment killed. The army reportedly deployed a massive artillery gun against identified Boko Haram camp and hit the target. Military source said the preemptive operation was ordered after getting a report on the movement of the fighters, and their communication was also intercepted by the troop. The strike hit the mass gathering of the terrorists, killing at least 40 of them, while others escaped with various degree of injury, the sources said. It was learned that the acting general officer commanding 7th Division, Brigadier General Abdulwabi Ayitayo, subsequently sent words of commendation and encouragement to the soldiers for their feast. We don't know how true this is, but if it is true, I will say this is a welcome development. 40 of these crazy criminals have been sent, to meet their maker so that they can have 7 virgins, in paradise. Now there's another guy again, which I think is a cow. This guy Adamu Garba, both of you know him. He was one of those guys that actually contested for the presidency in 2019 under the adage of not too young to rule. But this guy's brain is archaic. He has a very low thinking and is very redundant. That's the truth about that. He's a young guy, but I see him as a fanatic. I see him as a regionalist. He's not pan-African, neither is he pan-Nigeria. He's a pan-Northernist. That's who he is. I've listened to him speak in so very many operas. I can say categorically clear. This guy does not have the kind of useful leadership that we are believing for the generation to come. I'm going to say this before I read what he said. The generation of the youth we have in the North today, our generation in the North today, will be worse. I repeat, will be worse than the generations of their fathers. The generation of the North today, of the youth, our generation in the North, will be worse than the generation of their fathers. Go mark it down. They are going to be worse. They are oppressive, very myopic in their thinking, and they are very divisive. When they speak, they don't speak like youths. When they speak, they should speak like people who, who are 90, 95 years of age, whose age is closer to their extinction from the earth. This is what a young man said. Cattle have more economy value than the entire oil and gas reserve we have in Nigeria. Adamu Garba. I read for you. Say all Fulanis present in southern Nigeria should come back. We use the cattle, process the cattle, process the resources, and sell all over to the world as finished goods. If you can do this, it's going to be fantastic, guy. For real. It's going to be really, really fantastic. That's what we are waiting for. Cattle have more economic value than the entire oil and gas reserve we have in Nigeria. Our major stakeholders in the north must admit cattle as business opportunity, not just culture, and invest heavily to bring cow to currency to reality. Cow alone can solve all Nigerian problems. The job opportunities, the manufacturing centers, and the connection to global hub of demand for the best cattle meat can open more doors and set for the liberation of northern Nigeria from cheap and somewhat useless oil assets. We must invest in harvesting the value of cattle. A liter of cow milk is at 350 is much more than the value of a liter of oil at 145. With over 20 million cows, take 1/3 as milk producing female, on average of 5 liters per day. We will have almost 12 million per day from the cow milk. That's about 7 million per state per day. About 21 billion per state per month. It was doing a calculation that was very fantastic, anyways. That is much higher than the monthly allocation the largest state receive in the north. Again, each cow can generate a minimum of 3 jobs: rearing, slaughtering, processing, marketing, selling, and management. 5 million cows equal to 50 million jobs. I marvel at the laziness of northern governors. Northern governors think awarding contract for building roads, taking their cut is all they need for themselves. Doing so has subjected the North to conditions and dehumanization from some element in the South. The time is now for them to take up to our potentials. It is becoming increasingly clear that 2023 election is a game between cattle states and non-cattle states. Let's be blunt about this. If not only that do not wake up to this urgent reality, the target will not just be the cow, but the cow harboring states and their adherents. From each cow, you have oil, meat, skin, milk, horn, bones, dungs, grasses, more fertile land. You also have land, gold, diamond, silver, oil and gas, elements, river, fishes, all agricultural produce, culture value, forest, Sahara, etc. Why would you ever wait for oil and oil alone? Shame. Former presidential aspirant Adamu Garba has said cattle have more economic value than the entire oil and gas reserve in southern Nigeria. He was talking in the reaction to the advice given by the Mentiala Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria policy chapter, which required its members to vacate the 70 states in northern Nigeria. I mean, in the southern Nigeria. Now, I want to deal with this very carefully. Damu Garba, what you said, they are all fantastic. I want you guys, particularly you, the elite, the youth elite in the north, to push your representatives in the north to agree to fiscal federalism, to agree to true federalism. It's not about talking. It's about actually acting. When you get to add some of the things you say, let the world see you displaying this character. You just made a very remarkable, very articulate, well-structured plan on how each state can make 21 billion naira per month in the north from cow sales only. Not talk of other mineral resources that you just enumerated in your article. It is fantastic, well respected. But the only way you can carry out this very particular plan is for you and to begin to galvanize support for the restructuring, for fiscal federalism, and for true federal system of government in Nigeria. Because it is only when this comes in that the lazy national governors, as we call them, will not be running to Abuja every month to take a check home. It is only in Nigeria, all over the world, that I've seen that checks are being handed over to governors to run their respective states. That has actually made Nigeria and Nigerians to be very lazy. Because that's what you see today. Every youth in Nigeria is clamoring to go into politics, not because they actually have what it takes to support the value that is on ground. All they know is being in politics ultimately gave me the opportunity to embezzle and become extremely rich within a space of 4 years. The amount of what you amass while you are in government is being defined as the kind of job you did to the people. That's the kind of people. That's the kind of country we are. So, if you believe that that cattle business is far better than oil and the gas reserve in the south, more far better, why can't you enhance, help in bringing to reality this very particular multi-billion dollar industry into operation? You are a northern youth, and I know you are quite rich also. You might not be so formidable rich. You can create, you can be the first to go into some of these things you have just enumerated. You just itemized in your article. This can help the government to see, and other people who are also as wealthy as you are, to see that, oh, this is possible. No, every time the staff says you guys are killing us, you need to try to have a rethink. Then you guys will come outside and begin to say all sorts of things. This is what is going to happen right now. I'm going to read some comments on this very particular. One brown son Kingsley said, Alaji Adamu Garba, I guess you need to wake up from your slumber. How on earth do you compare the economic value of cattle rearing to the earnings that you get in the petroleum industry? Even the byproduct of petroleum alone generates so much to the economy. Please think again. Then one John Oyenchirelam says, you are on point. Because his father cow has more economic value than him. Very wicked elite of the north. They keep their people in the bush and brainwash them while they send their own children to the best schools in Nigeria and abroad. That is why they are thinking, that's why they think everybody is a cow. One Babagida at Weva Gajiga says, this is an indictment on the northerners. If a kilo of cow meat is more than a liter of oil, then that shows all cow owners should henceforth start paying taxes. Oil shouldn't be our only source of revenue. I can't remember when the federal government declared the revenue from sales of cow, but rather only on oil. It shows that the federal government needs to restructure Nigeria, just like the call by the certain governors, at least to get more money into the federal account from the sales of cow. Government can tax a trader in Sabogari, Kano, but not a cow rearer in Enugu. Things have to change. Nigeria needs money from all businesses. None should be exonerated. Yeah, but that was only national. One Godwin David said, Kado have more economic value than the entire oil and gas reserve we have in Nigeria. So said a fellow cow. That is quite funny. Okay, guys. So that is all I can be able to take on that because of time, because I need to move on to the next show right now. Now, this is also another one again. In the north, IGP launches Operation Restore Peace in Southeast. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Akali Baba, has flagged off a new operation codenamed Operation Restore Peace in the Enugu state to contain the rising insecurity in the Southeast region. The event was held on Tuesday at Michael Obara Square in Enugu capital city and was attended by Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Okoanyi. This coming barely 2 days after the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Enugu was attacked and properly set ablaze by yet to be identified gunmen on Sunday night. 6 vehicles were razed with 2 other damaged following the attack at an office in Enugu. Also in April, 2 officers were killed in an attack on a police station in Adani, Uzowani, local government area of Enugu State, raising concern over incessant assault on security information in the southeast region of Nigeria. So now, an operation has been launched again. And this, why? I don't know why. They didn't launch the same in Kaduna. I'm not saying launching an operation in the east is wrong, guys. Get it very clear now. Because what is good for the girls is good for the ganders. That's what That's what is a parable that comes in. So whatever you do to this, you must do to this. There must be equal justice, fairness, and equity. So we should not have 2 laws for a nation, the same nation. That is where some of us are coming in. So you launching this operation wherever Restore Peace in the Southeast is fantastic. Why did you not launch Operation Restore East in Zamfara State? Why did you not launch Operation Restore East in Katsina State? Why did you not launch Operation Restore Peace in Kano State? Why did you not launch Operation Restore Peace in Kaduna State? Where terrors are also taking place, or in Borno State, or in Borno State, or in Plateau, or in Taraba, or in Nasarawa, where crises are also emanating also. Why didn't you launch the same? Why always concentrating on the east and the south? I think the reason is the east and the south are becoming very, 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 very troublesome to these people. They are becoming very, very worrisome to what we are actually doing in Nigeria. I think that's one of the reasons why they are doing what they are doing. Okay, that's what I think. I don't know if you have any other thinking, you can let me know, guys. Now, Akintoye Rice Southwest Governor says tourists have encircled Yoruba land, urged people to wake up. Says new COVID-19 midnight curfew is an attempt to import tourists into Yoruba land. Advise ROCCGs, Winners Chapel, Mountain of Fire, Synagogue, Deeper Life, Ibadan, and Lagos Central Mosques to beef up security around their premises. Renowned historian and Second Republic member of the Senate, Professor Banji Akintoye, has raised an alarm alleging that terrorists have invaded and encircled the southwest geopolitical zone of Nigeria. In a letter personally written by him to all these southwest governors, the leader of the Apex Yoruba Self-Determination Group, Ilana Omo-Odua, urged the leaders to be vigilant and ensure that their fatherland is not captured by foreign invaders. Akintoye, according to a statement made available to newsmen on Wednesday by his communication manager, Maswe Adeleye, declared that the new midnight curfew announced by the Nigerian government to curtail the spread of COVID-19 in Nigeria looks suspicious with clandestine moves or motives. While urging Yoruba people, especially the younger generation, to wake up and be extra vigilant, Akintoye alleged that the previous COVID-19 lockdown from March to May 2020 was used to import terrorists from the north to the south part of Nigeria, especially to the southwest, stressing that people must therefore be very careful and be observant now. He advised some top religious centers in southwest, such as the Redeemed Christian Church of God, the Redemption Camp, the Winner Chapel Faith Tabernacle, Deeper Life Bible Church Camp, Mountain of Fire Camp, Synagogue Church of All Nations Equator, and the prestigious Central Mosque building in Lagos and Ibadan to beef up securities around their premises. The lengthy statement assumed by Akintoye reads in part. It's an alert from Ilana Omoodua to the Yoruba people at home and in diaspora. The situation that has developed in Nigeria in recent days calls for the utmost vigilance of the Yoruba nations and every Yoruba man, woman, and child. There is danger that if we don't mark that high level of vigilance today, very serious pain can be inflicted upon us as a nation and uncountless number of citizens of our nation. A few days ago, precisely on Saturday, the 8th of May, I sent a very desperate letter to the 6 governors of the Yoruba Southwest. The letter reads as follows. Your Excellencies, the Governor of Yoruba Southwest. This is a very desperate message from me to the state governors of our Yoruba land in the face of the impending escalation of the ongoing invasion of our homeland. A combination of Fulani terrorists, Boko Haram and ISIS, have occupied Niger State, which is immediately north of Yoruba land, thereby providing for themselves a very easy access into Yoruba through the Yoruba part of Kwara and Kogi State. Then urgently, the US has issued a statement that ISIS has infiltrated southern Nigeria from the sea, meaning that the coast of Lagos, Ogun, and Ondo have been infiltrated. On situations has thus become desperate and require desperate actions from our state governors. I feel obliged to devote much attention to the study of our Yoruba nations in these terrible times. And from such studies, I am hereby raising an informed alarm to the governors of our state. I humbly and passionately urge our governors to come together and give the needed response to the danger that is threatening to engulf our Yoruba land in most probably the next few days. This is very well known that the signature action of this foreign terrorist organization is to first destroy permanent assets of the society that they attack. That could mean that major public and private buildings in Lagos and Ibadan, particularly the huge symbolic Coca-Cola house in Ibadan, will be their immediate target. By the grace of God, we ultimately expel them from our homeland. But by then, very many valuable assets of our nation might have been wrecked. This is something that we can and must prevent by preempting them with our own massive defensive measure. I wish our governors God's wisdom and strength as they rise together to do the desperately needful now. I trust you all to make the best decisions, but I respectfully urge that you also bow a leave from Governor Otom, as done in East Benue State. With my greatest regard, Professor Banji Akintoye. So this is the wake-up call on all the governors in the South, West, and also to the governors in the South, and the Southeast. I just said a few days ago, there was 35 buses carrying over 400 young men from the age of 18 to 35 to an unknown destination. I also showed you on a video that Dangote truck was carrying some Fulanis who were covered with tarpaulin at the back of the Dangote truck. And when they were asked where they were going, what was in, they said they were carrying salt, but not knowing they were actually exporting human beings into destinations that we do not actually know. So that shows that the government is actually creating much war, preparing to invade the South. We must be vigilant. That is why we must use our platform to educate our people, to tell our people about what is happening in Nigeria today. Our platform is not meant for saga. Our platform is not really meant for monetary purpose alone. If you are a social media influencer or a presenter, your basic responsibility should be to educate the people, to inform the people, to put the people on alert of event that is about to happen. Also to refer them back to events that have happened in the past that is also part and parcel of what they can use in helping to solve or to stop what is about to happen. That should be the reason why we as a people are here as the face of the people on the social media space. Not to create enmity and unnecessary acrimonies among ourselves, which is tantamount to the progress and dignity of the Nigerian people. Okay? Now the next one says the UN called Nigeria is negotiable and must be renegotiated. Facts and figures. Now, I decided to put this up in order for us to actually know there are many nations in the world who were once together, but today they are being separated as a result of not being able to align together or not being able to have a level playing ground, a level playing field where all of them can be able to think as one set of people. Okay? Now, number one is in 1947. In 1947, India was one nation. But in 1947, India and Pakistan emerged from the ashes of British Indian dominion. In 1947, there was a split between India and Pakistan. And in 1971, Bangladesh separated from India. So between 1947 and 1971, India had been split into three nations: the Pakistan nations, the Indian nations, and the Bangladesh nation. Okay? In 1965, Singapore separated from Malaysia. Okay, guys? In 1965, Singapore separated from Malaysia. In 2002, the East Timor and Indonesia went their separate ways. In 2002, the East Timor and Indonesia went their separate ways. In 1905, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and Finland all went their separate ways. Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, in 1905, all of them went their separate ways. Today, they are good neighbors. They are called the Scandinavians. In 1944, Iceland decided to separate from Denmark. In 1944, Iceland decided to separate from Denmark. Between 1992 and 1993, Czechoslovakia became two nations, Czech Republic and Slovakia Republic. In 1992, between 1993, Czechoslovakia nation became two independent nations, the Czech Republic and the Slovakia Republic. Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Macedonia, Montenegro, Serbia, including the region of Kosovo and Vojvodina and Slovenia, were once one federating unit called Yugoslavia. You have heard of Yugoslavia before. So Yugoslavia went dissolved into 6 nations. But the problem is, this nation actually went into war to separate. This union came to a cruel and amidst brutal bloodshed, and all went their separate ways in the journey of nationhood. Russia, Ukraine, Georgia, Belarus, Uzbekistan, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Moldova, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. These 50 countries were once known as the USSR, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. This union collapsed in 1991, and they all went their separate ways and became sovereign nations. In 1921, the North Ireland separated from United Kingdom. In 1830, Belgium separated from Netherlands. In 1776, US seceded from United Kingdom. Eritrea today is no longer part of Ethiopia. Southern Sudan today has moved on from Sudan. All these separations and secessions happen for various reasons, ranging from political, ethnic, economic, religious, social-cultural, ideological differences, amidst other factors too. No nation, state, or country is divinely created. They are all human creation along various lines. If you can't tag along, untangle yourself. So that shows that Nigeria can. The unit of Nigeria is negotiable. We ought to sit down to renegotiate if we want to live as one indivisible entity. Because if you don't renegotiate, you might end up being like other nations of the world who went into brutal war in order for them to go their separate ways. But we are not asking for that. We are asking, let a referendum be called. Let there be referendum. We will not determine if we're going to go into restructuring or we're going to go into different ways. Now, the last one I'm going to add for you today, or the last one I'm going to add for you today is going to be maybe one. I don't know. Let me see if I can. Look at what this post said here again. Before we restructure Nigeria, we must agree that Nigeria should remain one. Arewa Forum. These guys are so scared of the word restructure. They are so scared. They had a meeting. And this is what they came up with. They want to be restructured, but they are scared that the South want to exit the marriage because they are this very lazy, parasitic husband who do not put anything on the table. They are worried that if this relationship gets broken down, they are going to be when they're going to bear the bond so well. So that's why they are doing everything humanly possible to make sure that Nigeria remains in the hands of the people. That's why they love this system that's being operated today, the unitary federal government, where power is being centered at the central. So they have control. So when there's a restructure whereby power is now being reduced or returned back to the subordinates, it becomes tough for them to control because the center then has little or no power to pressure. The Arewa Forum says that before the decision to restructure Nigeria is made, everyone must agree that Nigeria should remain as one nation. The forum was responding to the outcome of the Southern Nigerian meeting yesterday. Senate governors have sent a economic call to the president requesting that the country should be restructured to ensure that every region interest is nurtured at the center. Right today, the spokesperson of AFC, Mr. Ayuba, said there should be an agreement to allow Nigeria to be one before plans for restructuring take place. Can you imagine that? Can somebody imagine that? Can somebody imagine that? They don't want to go. They don't want you to go. And they don't also want to respect you and your rights as a bona fide member of the contraction called Nigeria. This is actually a beautiful nonsense. It's actually a beautiful nonsense, guys. It shows that these guys have an hidden agenda. See that? See what they said? We only agree on restructuring if they agree that Nigeria will not break. If you're afraid of a nation to break, when a woman is afraid of her home to break, or a man is afraid of her home to break, you must treat your wife with equal respect, and you must treat your husband with equal respect. That's how it works. So when you treat your wife or your husband with equal respect, then the tendency that the home is going to break will be very slim. But the moment the man become a bully, or the wife become a bully, then, and they are saying you can't go, they want her to kill each other. That's what you see a lot of things happening in our homes, where people are being killed. The reason why the people are being killed is just this whole issue. Okay? Then the last one I'm going to take today is Beautiful Nonsense, written by Bala Ibrahim. The problem of Nigeria is Nigerians. I call it beautiful nonsense. I'm going to tell you why. This guy wrote a very lengthy grammar, but all the grammars are nonsense. Please, you bear with me. Follow me along as I read this very beautiful nonsense this Bala Ibrahim wrote concerning what Kaduna State Governor did to the people. Listen, please. Thanks, Bala, but it is Kaduna State government, not El-Rufai. El-Rufai and the laughable labor of labor by Bala Ibrahim. You do see I didn't put the heading because the heading is actually a beautiful nonsense. No, the heading is actually a beautiful nonsense. The Nigerian Labour Congress have said yesterday, Monday, 17th May 2021, pull all its weight in labor and labored well in Kaduna with a dream of lowering the living standard of Governor Nasir El-Rufai, I suppose. But everything turned out to be ludicrously laughable. They succeeded only in getting the ordinary man suffer more. At the flag off of the action, the Nigerian National President, the Nigerian Labour Congress National President, Comrade Ayuba wabba said, the strike of the Congress will run its full course unless the government attend to the workers' grievances. To make the governor feel the pinch, the Congress ensured the grounding of activities at the Central Hospital in Kawo, Tundu, Wada, Kafashan, Giwa, Rigasa, Kakuri, and Sabo Tasha. They also shut rural hospitals and primary health center in Kwayi, Toronko, and other locations across the state. Nothing can be more laughable because I doubt if El-Rufai or any of his family member visit the aforementioned hospital for treatment. It is the very masses that were deceived or forced to go on strike that would suffer. Also, granted, we have fuel stations, hospitals, banks, the railway, airport. But I don't know which of these utility centers is frequented by El-Rufai. Ultimately, it is the very masses that were deceived or forced to go on strike that will suffer. The major grievance of NLC is the sacking of 7,000 workers from local government in the state. But Malam Nasir El-Rufai said he will not be intimidated. As such, he will go ahead with the plan to sack the workers despite the protection. The governor said the coalition that compared the government to resize are not uttered by the Nigerian Labour Congress campaign of economy and social sabotage. Labour could not confront the COVID-19 that came to prove the irrelevancy of some staff, which gave the government the reason to resize but want to make a scapegoat in Malam. Someone wrote, and I quote, "If anyone thinks that the NLC is fighting the governor, let him look beyond the smoke screen. Have NEPA, banks, filling stations, and the rest of them ever participated in a local warning strike? The aim to create another EndSARS in disgust for the destruction of our country, starting with the North. We refuse to participate in the EndSARS hypocrisy." This is a youth saying this, that the EndSARS hypocrisy in the South, that the EndSARS in the South was hypocrisy. And now Kaduna has been targeted. If they succeed in causing an arrest, if they, underlined, is taking the South now as the people. If they succeed creating an arrest, then we'll import their hoodlums to start the maiming, the awesome and total destruction of land and property, simply because they lost the control of the national treasury. This idiot of a guy is referring now to the South. One need not to be a Samist to see the fingerprint of the sponsor or promoter of the strike. They came from all over and seem effervescent in their determination to fulfill the errand of their paymaster. So long as some of us will permit their sense of reasoning to be guided by the sentiment of Dr. Ezekiel or Malam Dauru losing his job after being trained and employed for years with public resources, our conscience may be denied the duty of taking right about the plight and right of poor capital Bala or peasant farmer Nathaniel, who, despite having equal right to the same resources, have never benefited directly from the kitty. Now, let me end there. This guy, like I say, it's a beautiful nonsense. You see, he's trying to make a sense, but actually it's making no sense. How can sacking of over 7,000 workers solve the situation in Kaduna State? How can you, because you have an opportunity of working or having your own business, maybe you're probably a work to do, or you went to school, you have an opportunity of getting out, of the labor market, and you feel that you know it all? It is crazy. It is crazy. This guy, this Bala Ibrahim is a young guy, and I expected him, as young as he is, to have understood the way and manner governance actually works. Sweden retraced a lot of people during the COVID-19. But do you know that they paid these people for 1 year plus? 1 year, they were paid for 1 year. They were paid 85% of their salary for 1 year. Anyone that already had a contract job, like the one you called life contract or permanent job in Nigeria, they were paid for 1 year by the Swedish government. 85% of their salary while they were home. And many of them that have already elapsed that payment have been asked to go to an insurance company, the government insurance company, known as Foshek Casa, to go and apply and register with them, and they'll be giving stipends at the end of every month until they are able to get something to do again. These nations are not as rich as Nigeria. I can promise you that. So they actually live on tax to survive. But they have to create an enabling environment so that their people will not resort to crime. When 7,000 people are being sacked, and that will it's going to have a multiple effect. Maybe it's going to be 7,000 times 5. So you're going to have about 35,000 people are going to be on the street without no food. And maybe among these 35,000 people there, maybe it could be that 25,000 or even 25,000 more of these people are going to be under the age of 30, who are dependent on their parents. And you are trying to stop criminality in your state, and you are creating an environment, an enabling environment for them to return to the forest and start creating havoc in your state. So don't you see how myopic you are, Bala Ibrahim? Don't you see how sentimental, because of political coloration, because of greed, of wanting to be on the right book, on the good book of a dictator, a tyrant, a sadist? He did the same thing in Abuja. He destroyed people's hope. Listen, Malam El-Rufai has so much joy in making people cry. And this is the man who wants to become president of Nigeria. The day you made a mistake of making Nasser El-Rufai president, that is the end of Nigeria as a state. The guy has an evil heart. He's very, very vindictive in the way and manner he approaches things. So thank you guys. Let's just go to the comment section right now. Let's see what we have there. So we are tired. We have tried unity for 60 years. It hasn't worked, and it looks like it will work for the next 1,000 years. Let's try separation for a chance. Heaven won't fall. I think I support that. We have the West Germany and the East Germany. They actually tried that, and they found that they can come together again. They came together. They become one, nation. I think I support that. The North is doing everything possible to invade the South before 2023. Buhari has placed all his military Fulani to head the Nigerian army. That is a problem, my brother Abbas. That is the problem we are having today. And many of us are not speaking about it because we are scared. Glory be to God for allowing El-Rufai not to become Nigerian president and will never be close to Aso Rock. We pray and we hope that he's already showing his color, and many people will know how to support him when the time comes. Those operations they launched in the North is just to baboose you guys. They are not actually working. Mr. Joseph Sunday, sir. That is the issue. That's what we all of us are asking right now. We don't know why. If they have this kind of money that he's talking about now, why are they not actually contributing to the center? Why are they waiting for the North, for the South to mine their oil, to sell their alcohol and to get money from wealth in the South and take it to the central and everybody shares? They have become very, listen, do you also know that it's a foreign state? They have gold. They were selling their gold. Yeah, they were selling their gold by themselves. Yeah, the referendum will determine if we want to have recession or not. Biafra freedom. That's what we are saying. Referendum will determine if we want to have Biafra freedom or not. Heaven won't fall if we have referendum and ask those in this so-called Nigeria if we want restructuring or referendum, if we want to be together. That's what we are saying right now. We need the referendum to determine that, sir. They want to be restructured. They want to not sit down. We want to sit down on how we want to get ourselves together. That's the problem right now. I'm sure nurses have a union. In this case, the union should send out word that no nurse should occupy the vacant space in solidarity for their co-workers. Let everybody fill the vacancy himself. That man is a sadist man. That El-Rufai is a sadist. He's a sadist. So for me, without dissolving Fulani government in Nigeria, the system will not balance. I support my Martin Sibo. I 100% support you on this. It will not balance, guys. Okay, thank you, guys. I think that's all I have today on that on the news. Thank you very much, guys. See you tomorrow again, God's willing. And I hope and I believe that we will be able to have time to discuss together. I want to beg my people once more again. Please, guys, let's stop this bring him down syndrome. Bring her down syndrome. It doesn't go well at the end of the day. We are all Edo people from one progenitor, they do. So please, guys, let's do everything humanly possible so that we can remain within the circumference of a civilized human being. Not they drag me down that we are operating today as a people. It is heartbreaking to some of us. It's heartbreaking to some of us. I believe and I hope that many of us will actually understand where some of us are going to, people like me, where we are going to in the nearest future. I love this nation. I love my people. And I love Edo State. I do everything to fight for Edo. I've said this many times here. I have promised myself I will not own a property outside my state. That's one thing I've done. I said I will not own a property outside my state. Everything that I own in life is in Edo State, except where I live here also. But apart from that, everything I own in life is in Edo. I am a full-blooded Edo man, so proud of my heritage. And please, guys, I will not want us to destroy this just because of some peanuts that we are getting as a people. Please, guys, this will help us if we can understand that we are family. Let's act like family. Let's think like family. And let's hope that greater things is ahead of us. In 2020, September 19, here we might ban Edo, but we might not ban Edo for. Let's keep up that unity, that bond that we created during that time. That the voice of the people was heard, not the voice of some few. We can still do the same. We can still make that possible. If only we can put aside all our acrimonies, all our unnecessary grievances that is not even called for, in a civilized world that we ought to be. If we can do that, we can see progress, success coming up everywhere in the ancient city of Benin Kingdom. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you all. God bless you. See you tomorrow again as we continue to talk to power and to explain to you, things that are happening in Nigeria and why they are happening. Have a very blessed night, blessed day. Those of you that are at night, have a very blessed night. Bye for now, and see you tomorrow again, if God's willing.